Hello everyone, this is Judy coming to you from my scrapbook loft, and I'm going to try to make this a quick video. But Alicia at Alicia's Crafty Hoplop had mentioned my name in doing a video of my favorite tools and tools that I've bought that I don't care much about and that I could live without. So I'm going to start with some tools that I've bought that I could live without, okay? First of all, the Distress It All Zutter. This distresses the edge of paper to give it that rough, tattered look. I bought this to make one scrapbook with. I've used it a few times, but what I've used it for, you could use your scissors with, or if you have a knife sharpener, you could even run it through a knife sharpener. I used to have one of those around here that I used before I got this. So that's wasted money. Okay, the last thing that I bought that I could live without is this bow maker. And I mean, it makes pretty bows and it does pretty good, but I could have lived without it because I like the one that I made the best. And I used a cutter, board cutter, food chopper cutter, whatever you want to call this thing. And I made some pegs on here, I glued them on, and I make different sizes of bows. And this is the easiest and makes the prettiest. So this is the one I always reach for. So that is another tool that I could have lived without. And then I had to run out and buy a fuse tool when I saw everybody making the little pockets with the shaker sequins in it. And I've used it one time, $20, could have lived without it. So those are 3 things. I'm sure there's some more in this room. Oh, the Cricut. I'm on my 4th Cricut because the first Cricut I bought was the 6-inch, and I used the water out of it. And so I thought, well, I'll get the big one. So I bought the big one, and I used it, and then it got outdated. So I got me another one, and I had it set up on the computer for the Cricut Craft Room. Well, they did away with the Cricut Craft Room and went to the Cricut Design Space. Well, then that outdated that Cricut, and in order for me to use my cartridges that I had bought online that was in the Cricut Design Space, I had to buy another Cricut. I very seldom use that Cricut because, for one thing, I don't have the patience to go through all the images that I want to find. I would rather use my Big Kick and my die cutters. My Sizzix steel dies. I love them. They cut perfect every single time. And I have had most of them for many years because I have been making scrapbooks for over 16 years now. So my die cutting machine and my dies are my favorites. And then in punches, my favorite punches. My favorite punches are the EK Success. And the reason they're my favorite is because they will cut through 110-pound cardstock. Martha Stewart does not. I have broken 3 Martha Stewarts trying to cut through thick cardstock. And over time, these leave the edges of your paper tattered. They get dull. And I will never buy another Martha Stewart punch. And I have a few of them, but I'll never buy another one. EK Success is what I will buy if I buy punches. The worst punches are Paper Studio. They will not cut through thin paper. Just the thin paper pads you get with the thin paper, they won't cut through that. So they're only good for regular cardstock. One punch that I bought, and I had to have this, is the word punch. It just punches out a word. I've used this one time. Go figure. So that is one you don't need. And then, those are my worst tools, I think. I'm sure there are more in this room because I've got bukus of stuff. Now, for making scrapbooks, my favorite items to make scrapbooks with is score tape, because it is strong. It does not turn loose. If you put it on right, it does not turn loose. Tyvek. Tyvek, because I use it on the between the papers of the hinges, because the book, when it works, get this thing open. How do y'all like that book? Howdy, cowboy. This is what works, that book. And that's where it tears. Well, Tyvek does not tear. So that is going to last. And then I use it when I make the hinges to keep them from tearing over time. The paper may crack inside here, the paper may crack, but it's not going to tear. So that's Tyvek is my next thing. Now, I was going to tell you this. Here a while back, this is the first time I've ever bought this. I bought this from scrapbook.com, and it's called Score Pal tape. And just as soon as I opened it, I knew I was in trouble. And I bought it because it was cheaper. This was $2.49 compared to $6.49 for this. But now I buy these in bulk and I get them for like $5.75. When I opened it, the first thing that happened was this come out. As soon as I opened the package, that come out. I thought, oh, I'm in trouble. And I was. So I'm using this on items that I think will be thrown away or thrown back in a drawer or something. That won't matter. If it's not used, it probably won't never come apart. Not like a book. Because when you open this one, that does not come out. You can't push that out. It doesn't come out. That is the best tape. Score tape. And I order it from Amazon. And I get it in rolls of 5 for $19. I've tried to find it in bigger packages. So far, I've not been able to do that. I'm not a big enough company. I'm not a company, for one thing, to get it in big bulks at a cheaper price. Then, my next favorite thing, heavyweight chipboard to make my books with. And then I still double them. On the outside of them. If you watched Heather's changed her name to Heather's Handmade Haven, I think. You'll see that it's doubled. And then for the hinges and the pages, I use 110-pound cardstock, heavyweight. That's for my books. Then my next favorite tools is the mini scoreboard, and I keep it in a space here by my hand so that I can just reach in and get it when I need it for small items. And then I have the big one. These were the best money invested, were these two things here. And then my favorite scissors are Fiskars, and I have 3 that I like for paper. I like these small ones here. They feel good in my hand. I like the big ones when I have to have a big job. And I like these spring-loaded ones for fussy cutting. Yeah, fussy cutting. I bought these Martha Stewart scissors to fussy cut with. I hate these things. I hate them. They're so tiny and so, I don't know. My hands are just, I can't operate them very well. So I hate those things. So that was another thing bought, useless. So, and then a bone folder. And this is a Martha Stewart bone folder. And it cleans up real pretty. I can use the acetone on it to clean it up, and it doesn't eat away. I can't remember what this is made out of. It's not like the other bone folders, like this one here. You can't use acetate on that. It eats it up. I have to use soap and water on that one. This is my favorite. It stays practically in my hand all the time. And then my tweezers, my pinchy tweezers. I use these to lift the score tape, the cover off of the score tape, because I can't hardly get my fingernails under them. But that thing slides under there and pulls that up so easy, no problem. That's what I use this for the most. And I use it to pick up small items too, because my fingers are getting the osteoarthritis in them, and it makes it hard. So these are for that. And then these tweezers. You're not going to believe where I got these tweezers. And I use these when I pick up gems. These tweezers, in December of 2009, my husband had to have an emergency open heart surgery. And the day he was leaving, they came in to remove the sutures, the stitches and stuff. And they had these tweezers, 2 of these tweezers. And when they got through with them, they threw them in the trash. And I thought, hey, all they did was take the stitches out of his chest. They're not hurt. I got them out of the garbage, brought them home and cleaned them up. And I've got a pair up here in my scrapbook room that I use them for. Greatest things ever was to pick up small items and place them on my paper, on my project. And then there's a pair downstairs in the bathroom that we use. I love these things. They've got a grip on them, and I use these for everything. Yeah, they threw them in the trash. All right, and this sticky tool piercer, I love this. I use this a lot just to pierce a hole for a small brad, or to pick up a glue dot to put in place. And I do a lot of cleaning things out with this tool. So this is another have to have. And this little tool. This is called, get it turned right, Perfect Trim Ruler. And you can find that at perfecttrimruler.com. And this is what makes the edges for your book. This is how you can lay this on the corner of your book, your paper, like that, and you cut it, and that makes a perfect, you can make a perfect corner for your book. That I have to have. Can't live without that. That was good money spent. Now my glues. My favorite glues is, of course, art glitter glue. You can tell I have two of these bottles. One of them's the paper's completely gone off of it, and this one's almost gone. And then Fabri-Tac. Can't live without that. That's for my fabrics that I put on my projects. And then my E6000 for my metal, or if I'm putting a pearl on metal, placing something on metal, I use this. And I want to tell you how good this is. I bought a new light for my kitchen, and it had been up like 2 or 3 years. And I walked in the kitchen one day, and there was a little piece of it laying in the floor. And that thing was a pistol to put up. And so my husband was like, oh God, we got to take that down and get another one. And I'm like, no, it's just a little piece. Let me go upstairs and get my E6000. It's been a year. That piece is still on, that light. Great. Then, can't live without my Tim Holtz ruler. It's dirty. I try to clean it. If you've tried it too hard, you'll take the paint off. And how do I know that? Let me show you. That's what happened if you clean it too hard. So I had to buy another one. So that's my favorite thing. And then I've got to have my paintbrushes. This one is for my Mod Podge and my triple thick, and then I use these for my paints and watercolors and things like that. And they clean up real easy with water. Except these. These are so cheap, I just throw them away when I use them. And then my Fiskars cutting board. Can't live without them. And I have 3 of them. I have this one here, which is my favorite. Then I have the big one over here. And then I have a smaller one that I use. I mean, it lets out to 12 inches. But I like this one when I make books and I need 1/2 inch chipboard. This is what I cut it with. I save all of my used blades out of here. When I change this, I save those blades to use on that when I cut chipboard. Now, I love my, where's it at? My stamp block. The smallest one. I had it laying here. Oh well, here it is. That's my favorite stamp block because mostly I use small stamps. I have the larger one. Well, it's about a 6-inch one. But this is my favorite. And this is a phone. This is a phone holder. And it's great for on this thing. And then my little trays. I've got to have this. And I have this one and a large one. This one is the one I use all the time. I could live without the large one. But this one stays right here by me all the time. I use it to put glitter on and, well, just everything that you need to do is on that. And then, let's see, I got this. I won this in a winnings from Scrappy Tape when she did her large tag challenge. And I don't know how I lived without this before. This is great. It works really, really good for stamping. It makes perfect stamping on that. So that, people, is and baby powder. Yeah, my baby powder. When I'm finished with a project, if I've missed a piece of tape that is showing, I can rub that tape off, but it might be just still be a little bit sticky, and you can put that on it and it's no longer sticky. It smells good. Alright, I hope that was quick enough. I hope that helped people. Hope that helped you. When you go to buy something, ask yourself, do I really need this? Is this really, am I really going to use this? And what I do now is I don't rush out and buy it. I work with what I do my projects, and if it's not confirmed that I needed it, or I just want it for one project, I don't buy it. I've learned that over the years. So now I buy mostly stuff for storage and supplies. And you don't need a whole lot of supplies. And so hope that helps. I want to thank you all for watching, and hugs to you from me, and God bless.